If you don't mind, let's take some time to gather. Let me introduce to you Tiffany Royster, who is the new chair. They all know me. Marcus Pollock. I'm the executive director of Park Heights Renaissance, here to introduce you to Ms. Tiffany Royster, who is the new chair of Park Heights Renaissance, who's going to be your mistress, I think I can say that, your mistress of ceremony today. Tiffany?
I'm not quite as tall as Marcus, so I had to move the mic. Glad I wore my boots today. Good morning. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. First, I wanted to say I'm happy to be on the board chair of Park Heights Renaissance. I'm very excited about the work that Park Heights does, from housing counseling to affordable housing, and just really being very present in the community. And in that, we couldn't do that without the support that we receive from Madam Catherine Pugh, the mayor, and all the work she's done for Park Heights, some that you see and some that you don't see. Everything from even down to things with the Clean and Green team here. And so we're excited about 6 installations of art that will come up, but I have the pleasure of introducing the mayor, who's been a tireless supporter and cheerleader for Park Heights Renaissance. And without further ado, Madam Mayor.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Aren't y'all excited? Why are y'all listening? I'm joking. So good to see you all here. I see Michael Braverman, our commissioner, is here. I see our vice president of the city council. Stand up, Sharon Middleton Green. Sharon Green Middleton. I messed you up. And Donna Sawyer, who I was just with on yesterday, just making great things happen in our city. The CEO of the Baltimore Office of Promotion and Arts. Thank you, Donna. Donna said I'm not getting up. Laurie Feinberg, who is the acting director of the Department of Planning. Thank you. Marcus, thank you too for all the work that you're doing in Park Heights. You are making us proud. I don't know whether you all know it, or if you had a chance to ride up and down Park Heights to see all of the houses that we've torn down. You know that, and let me just say, Pete, thank you for being here, Pete Hammond, and the entire staff of BOPA and others who are here with us sharing this morning. You know, one of the things we talked about early on in our administration was taking down a number of board-up houses in Park Heights. And for those of you who don't remember or know, and some of you who weren't even born back then, there were investments made in Park Heights. And in fact, if you look at part of Park Heights, there's some beautiful homes here. And I remember when I was moving throughout the city and stopped in one of the houses, and I was like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. And the woman reminded me that back in the 70s or 80s, she said, that there were investments made up here, and they have been waiting a very, very long time for investment to take place here. And as you well know, new schools going up and redevelopment taking place all over the place. I want to also say to LaToya Peoples, extraordinary artist, thank you so much for the work. Let's give her a big round of applause, you all. The artwork that you actually see here today was created by a partnership with the Baltimore Green Network. Where are they? Y'all stand up so that we can give y'all a big round of applause. All right, Baltimore Green Network. They're making it happen all over the city. And BOPA, because BOPA also provides grants for community groups and organizations. The key partners in this initiative are the Baltimore City Department of Housing and Community Development, who provided access to city-owned vacant lots. And of course, the Park Heights Renaissance. And we're so grateful for the leadership, you know, the executive director, and also Marcus for all the work they're doing together. They helped us with the judging and have agreed to maintain these 5 lots during the years that these 6 public arts installations will take place here. The planning department just recently facilitated with the Healthy Neighborhoods Organization, a grant program for Park Heights Community Organization from the state's Video Slots Campaign Fund. You all know that one of the things that we said is that we are going to focus on Park Heights because this is the corridor, this is the gateway, this is the area that people travel to, can end up living in, but pass through when they leave Baltimore or come into the city. And I call it one of our impressionable corridors of Baltimore. And so we want this corridor to be exemplary of the city. It has also work been done by Civic Works for the last 2 years to also help with the Park Heights Corridor. Planning's Inspire program is also working with VOPA to find artists to create a better entrance and signage for the Arlington Inspired Community Gardens. There's so much going on in this area. The Pimlico Triangle Community Managed Open Space, and across, as I already mentioned, the Pimlico Elementary Middle School. I also want to take another moment to thank Mr. Braverman and the Housing Department, who looked at a community where we were building a new school and said, look across the street, you all. We have nothing but boarded up houses, and then houses with roofs falling down. And so our housing department laid the groundwork and was able to lure a developer to that particular part of the city. And here's what's happening. You've got people in this community who are paying $900 a month rent, now who can get homes for $700, $750 in terms of mortgage. That's a big transition in terms of how we get people living in our neighborhoods and in our communities. Parents of students who are in those schools now get to have homes in this community. And we want people to believe in city government, because what we're doing is creating not just public partnerships, but private partners as well. And what that does is it allows us to create grants and opportunities for people in our communities. I know that nobody knows better than the Park Heights community about our Neighborhood Investment Fund, because we intend to invest in neighborhoods and communities that have been underinvested in for decades. We've got a community grants program for associations so they can build themselves up, help clean up their neighborhoods, and protect their investment. And then we have our our other grant program for our Community Development Corporation so that they can be strengthened. And of course, the $52 million that will go into our Neighborhood Investment Fund. We believe that we're going to be able to attract really quality investors in this neighborhood, and people who live in this neighborhood who have capacity to help us to create a better Park Heights. So again, let me say thank you to our artists. We are already enjoying your work, and we look forward to more such displays in the Park Heights community. But we also look forward to the collaboration and the work that's being done in this part of our city. This is what we want for Baltimore, and I am so excited. So thank you all for being here. And before I leave, I'd like to ask Marcus and our executive director to come forward so that I can present to you this certificate of recognition along with the Baltimore Green Network. Would you all come up? I don't know who's going to hold this in their place, but come on up so that maybe we have to get another one made. Where's our executive director? Where's she? Come on up. And finally, thank you again for the collaboration. This is what helps to move Baltimore forward. Thank you. Madam Mistress of Ceremony.
Now the next thing I want to do is take some time, and the mayor already said it, but I really want to take some time to highlight the work that Mr. Michael Braverman has been doing with the Department of Housing and Community Development, because it really takes a village as you work to build a neighborhood and do the development here. So the work that Michael Braverman and his staff is doing has been very invaluable to the neighborhood. We thank you for all you do and want to bring you up to say a few words.
Thank you, Tiffany. Good morning, Madam Mayor. My councilwoman, is she still here? There you are. Okay. Pete and everyone. Good morning, everybody. It's great to be out here this morning and celebrating the arts, because the arts are really an important part of the placemaking that we see here in Park Heights. And I want to double down, Mayor, on your statements about a new era of neighborhood investment, because I think that's what's really happening. And I see this moment here with our colleagues in the arts. It's a moment when we see something coming out of the ground, something beautiful, but there's so much on the drawing board right now, and it's all going to be coming out of the ground soon. And so I just want to highlight some of that, even though you can't see it because it's in paperwork and it's in deal making and it's trying to put the agreements together, but it's all happening. And Mayor, it's coming out of the ground on Park Circle. We have the $5 million streetscape improvement at Park Circle, working with our colleagues at Park Heights Renaissance. So Tiffany and Marcus, we got so much work together developing every single vacant building up from Park Circle to Spring Hill. That's 32 vacant buildings. That's all in the works now. I know I'm just telling you about something that you can't see, touch, or smell, but I want you to know it's all in the works. All the properties are teed up for auction, and Marcus and his team are working to put that deal together to create home ownership opportunities, eliminate every single vacant building. Marcus and his team are working with Penrose to develop an affordable housing project of at least 80 units on the 4200 block of Park Heights Avenue at Rosewood. He's working with partners at Commercial on Wiley and Reisterstown. That's probably another 60, 80 units of senior housing. And, Mayor, you wouldn't let me forget this, we've got the RFP returned for 17 acres on Park Heights Avenue, and you see all those demolitions around the 46, 47, and 4800 block. On the west side, there's 17 acres that are out. We didn't just get one proposal, didn't get 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 6 proposals to develop the 17 acres on Park Heights Avenue. All told, and then if I left out, Marcus, the work you're doing on the 2600, am I taking all your talking points? I'm sorry. It's like the work you're doing on the 2600 block of Loyola Northway, that's probably another 15 units. Altogether, what I'm talking about now is close to 400 units of new housing here, either vacant land or vacant buildings along Park Heights Avenue. So I want to thank Mayor, all of these fantastic partners, and today really is about the artists and the role that they play in activating this space. And we want to see their work in that larger context in we just hold on another year, it's all coming. So thank you, everybody. It's going to be a pleasure working with you, Tiffany. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Councilwoman Middleton. Thanks, everyone.
Now, this next one, I would like to take some time to introduce Miss Donna Drew Sawyer. Now, many of you have been to many of the events that the Baltimore Office of Promotion and the Arts. I had to look down because I was going to just say BOPA, but I wanted to get the whole phrase out. But you've been to many events from Light City, the Book Festival. I really like that one. The Baltimore Mural Program, Art at Work, and Lots Alive. And so, really, I want to take some time. I saw her earlier, I don't see it, but bring Donna up because some of the programs that you're right in front of me, I gotta look in front of me. But the programs that they're doing is really great for the community, and so without further ado.
Good morning, everyone. It is just such an honor to be here in Park Heights. It's inspiring in so many different ways to see this art, to see you gathered here, and to know that the universe conspired on our behalf and it stopped raining. So, and we have a beautiful sunny day to celebrate what is really a sunny opportunity for our city and for our community. I'm not going to go through all of the thank yous because the mayor always steals my thunder because she says thank you to everybody that I would have said thank you to. But it is, I just want to say BOPA is honored to be a part of this effort. We serve as the city's arts council and with a mission to use art to make the city more vibrant. And this is a prime example of the work we love to do. The festivals are wonderful. We gather together as a community when we come to those, but it's the individual communities that we impact that has the most impact. So for you to be here to see this and know that as children travel to school on a daily basis, they'll see this and hopefully be inspired by the possibility that the city of Baltimore holds for them and their future holds for them. And we demonstrate it through Latoya's work and through our support of the artists in our community. 40% of the jobs that are in the city of Baltimore are arts jobs that are related to the arts. And with that kind of power in the arts, we can only celebrate not just today, but every day, all the things we do as a community, all the collaborations we do, as the mayor listed, the many people that came together to make this happen, that happens on a daily basis here, and we are honored to be a part of it. So thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting us, as your Arts Council and as the events in the film office for the City of Baltimore. It is because of you that we're here. Thank you.
Now, next, I'd like to say when rebuilding a community, planning is important. And so with that, I want to highlight another key partner, which is the planning, the Baltimore Department of Planning. And many people may already know, but the planning department has the Inspire program that works with students, parents, teachers, and educators to create a welcoming pathway, if you will, in school gardens for Pimlico and Arlington schools. And so they coordinate grant programs and many things to get garden beds and many other beautification items that you see around the community. And so with that, I want to highlight and bring forward a key partner, the acting director of the City of Baltimore's Planning Department, Lori Feinberg.
Thank you, Tiffany, and it's a thrill to be here today. As folks have mentioned, there's so much going on in Park Heights, and I don't want to repeat all that. But the Inspire program, Park Heights is so fortunate to have two 21st century schools. Pimlico has already reopened, Arlington is coming along, and we have two adopted by the Planning Commission neighborhood plans through the Inspire program for both of those schools. And that's really because of the hard work of the community. Those are really grassroots efforts. They're bottom up, and recommendations out of those plans are what got some of these projects going. We heard from the communities how important the arts are, and we're able to pull together the pieces with our fellow city agencies like BOPA to really meet those needs. And so we're thrilled about those adopted plans. I'd also like to thank our staff who work so hard in Park Heights all the time. Kim Knox on the greening effort, citywide green network. And also James Ashford is here, our Northwest planner, and I know you see him everywhere. He's working hard, in addition to what we mentioned, the grant program through the slots revenue with Healthy Neighborhoods. We've already awarded the first batch this year. There's more to come, and that's really a lot of James's hard work. Those are going to things like after-school programs, other arts initiatives, some violence prevention, security. There really are grassroots, bottom-up ideas that we're using that revenue to fund what the community is asking for. Also, James has been working really hard with the Pimlico Merchants Association to really work on our commercial corridor and help strengthen that area. So, just really thrilled. We want to keep up the hard work going here. We're really excited to work with housing on that next phase and see some of these new developments come to fruition. So just wanted to thank everyone.
Now next, I would like to highlight someone who does a great deal of work in the community, who serves on the board with me. I'd like to bring up Councilwoman Sharon Middleton, because I just think it's very important all you do behind the scenes and up front for the community. And so, if you could come up.
Very quickly. Good morning. Thank you all for coming on this beautiful, chilly Saturday morning. And I want to thank you. I can't thank you enough, Mayor Catherine Pugh. You have continued to be dedicated to this wonderful community, and my hat off to you. I just can't say enough. And it's not just this community. You are setting a page in history for our city. There are so many things that you have been putting in place, and people are going to start to see. People want to see, and they're going to see. And this community is, I'm just so happy it's going to be a start. And thank all of you and your team and all of the agencies that are coordinating and collaborating and starting apprenticeships. And Marcus and the Park Heights Renaissance, you have just been phenomenal. You're bringing the community associations together. There's still, we all know there's still a lot more to do, but we are on a path to continue to do that, and it's going to take all of us. It's not going to just take the government itself. It's going to take the people to come out of these homes here and participate. We have a wonderful school that has opened. We have a library that's going to be cut. That is huge. A brand new library in a park that's going to be developed. I mean, all the pieces are coming together, and now we're starting on the housing. We have all the human services pieces put together. We have our wonderful Safe Streets program that continue to bring and try to help maintain peace. And that will continue to be a part of Park Heights Renaissance. All these pieces work together, and again, I thank you all. The community thanks you. They see what's going on. Their hands and arms are open, and as I said, there's more and more and more to do, and I'm confident that Mayor Pugh and her team are going to be the ones that are going to continue to do it. So thank you again.
Now next I'd like to bring up Latoya Peoples, and I'd like to say, because that's really why we're here, is because of the art. And so Latoya Peoples is a very accomplished community artist whose thoughtful, vibrant work enriches the lives through the arts. And her recent work in Park Heights was really born out of two BOPA programs. I want to make sure I get these right. The Lots Alive and Art at Work program. And then as a teaching artist for Arts at Work 2018, she led local youth apprentices through the mural design and installation process. And so the two art, her mural artworks, Ode to Park Heights, can be found, because you have to know where you're going to go find them. You have one at 5322 Cuthbert Ave, and then you have Arts Work Helping Hands and Future Dreamers, which were selected by independent jury for installation, obviously right here, 3820 and 3822 Park Heights Avenue. And so we just thank you very much for your art and like to bring you up to speak.
Hello, everyone. I did not prepare much to say, but I'll just talk about the project a little bit. So the hands were started out as an idea. I usually start with a list of words for my artworks, and I sort of do sketches and things from the simple words or concepts that I come up with. So I started out with words like determination, learning, creativity, growing, thriving, building, repairing, all of these sort of ideas that we need to build strong communities. And then I sort of kept thinking about that a lot, and I came up with the idea for the hands, and I thought that they would be great, visually impactful, and really embody those ideas for building community. So here they are, and on this side, this is more so just to attract the children in the area, the young people, to kind of give them an opportunity to dream. Basically, you know, what can they do with their lives when they get older, and so I thought they would be kind of a fun idea for the kids to interact with, and I have seen some kids interacting with them so far. Every time I installed a new one, some of the kids that would come by, they would say, "Well, that one wasn't there this morning, we have to come take a picture with that." So I'm hoping to see lots of photos online of people interacting with the sculptures and stuff, and I'm really proud to see you all here to witness them. So thank you so much for having me and selecting me. I love doing stuff like this, so thank you.
The last thing I want to say is that we couldn't do this without a very talented and committed staff that we have at Park Heights Renaissance. And the next person I'm going to bring up is as humble as they are tall, and they're pretty tall. And so, I mean, I just like to thank Mr. Marcus Pollock for all the work he does, all the tireless meetings, morning, noon, and night, meeting in the community, walking the community, being of the community, and knowing the community. Coming out of retirement from FEMA to come back and give us your all. So thank you for everything you do. And without further ado, Mr. Marcus Pollock, the president of Park Heights Renaissance.
I keep getting new positions every time I come up here. Now I'm the president, but I'll take every bit of it. Thank you for taking from your Saturdays. I got to tell you that if your week has been like anything mine has been, I can tell you that this is a great sacrifice that you've given us this morning, and I certainly appreciate it. The team assembled here, BOPA and planning and the rest of the folks, certainly Kim, while they have been very powerful to do a lot of things, we obviously haven't been able to change the weather here. But as you can see, we're working on it. And thinking about working on it, one of the things that we've been thinking very deeply about at Park Heights Renaissance is Park Heights. And the park in Park Heights has been something that we have been concentrating on, because we think that in branding, or if you like, rebranding, parks will loom large. Did you know that there is about, I guess, northeast of here, there is Edgecombe Circle Park, about 30 acres of old growth trees, and just a lovely spot that certainly could be used much more than it is. We've got, of course, right down the road here, a piece, Druid Hill Park, that certainly is part of the way we think about Park Heights and where this name derived. And then, of course, the vacant lots that we have here, the 5 or 7 of them that have been adorned now with the wonderful art that has created a new space for us. I also want to say that it's just not about the art here, but it is also about the neighborhood groups that have come together to create this space and to maintain it. I'll say for you that Park Heights Terrace, and where is Stephen Johnson? There he is back there. There's another humble giant, if you will. His group has taken claim to the lot that is about 2 blocks from here. They had a signage ceremony over the summer where the folks came out and had hot dogs and other things and recognized the work that their group is doing, and that serves as a symbol of what could be done by others. I also want to say that we've got a relationship with Morgan State University. We're using some of their design studios to develop, to redesign, to reclaim some of the vacant lots that are here today that are likely to be here once we take down some of these distressed houses. In fact, we're going to be holding on November 17th what they call a mobile think tank, which will bring the professors and students of design and architecture into the community to use the intellectual capital that they have to kind of reimagine what this place might be, and in particular the vacant lots that we have here. But we don't want to stop there. We think that the vacant lots might be a bridge for learning for young people and others. One of the things that we've been thinking about in this brand concept is how can we create a learning community such that we can bring the work that happens in some of those 21st century schools that were created right here in the community. What about biology and science? What about helping young people understand the relationship between plants and animals and insects in terms of the ecosystem that exists right here in the neighborhoods? We can talk about sanitation and the relationship between sanitation and food, and what happens when when food is affected by dirt and grime and other things that are in the watershed that will affect the environment as we know it. And then lastly, I want to also say that we can't stop building on this wonderful partnership that we've created here with BOPA, planning, housing, civic works, and the Parks and Recreation and the community that has made this day possible. thank you very much, and I appreciate the work that you've done and what you will continue to do.
I know everybody's very warm, so I'll be very brief in the wrap up and just say one, thank you all for coming out. Thank everybody who participates in making the community better. Each and every one of you, thank you and have a good day.
Big smile, big smile. Everybody's standing there, ready? Looking at me. 3, 2, 1. Okay, everybody's looking right at me, right here, right at me. Excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much.